How many times have we had 2 or 3 combines running or 4 pieces of equipment, and at the end of the day, you stop for supper and your one employee or your one team member says, hey, I found this new setting on the combine. I'm going a half mile faster. The sample looks better. I'm not throwing anything over. Well, that's awesome. Did you tell the other 3 drivers? Well, no. The 5% rule is pretty simple. So we went through these 7 keys that I feel farm managers should be working towards. So how can we break that down into simple, logical steps in order to show more profit on our financial statements? So the 5% rule is most easily explained through a baseball analogy. Anyone like baseball? Everyone's hand stuck to their hip. I don't believe that nobody can lift up their hand. Okay. What's the difference between a 300 and a 250 batting average? So this is Derek Jeter, Hall of Fame, All-Star team every year, paid about $9 million plus a season, right? Versus the guy that got traded 7 times, never won the World Series, virtually a nobody, positional player. All that Derek Jeter did different is he hit 1 more ball every 20 times he went to the plate. That's all 5% is. He just did it over and over and over and over, right? So we're going to break that down in a farm in that if I told you guys that 5% in a farm was 2 bushels of canola, I use a canola example, sell it for 50 cents higher and tighten up your cost by $17 an acre. So that's cents per bushel. That's all 5% is. So how many people in the room think you could grow 2 more bushels if you're a little more proactive and focused on perfection? A little bit of education on marketing, we might be able to capture 50 cents and we could find a way to tighten our cost by 17 bucks. Those seem pretty attainable, correct? It's not like some snake oil is going to get us 200 bushels or 15 bushels an acre. It's little increments. Here's 5% changes to show you how simple. So as I said, 2 bushels, 50 cents, $17 in cost savings. So if you look at the slide there, the base case is our little graph of we're making $50 an acre. Go over 2, yield is up 2 bushels an acre. On that same plan, we now make $70 an acre. Go over a couple more. If you do 2 bushels and 50 cents, you now make $91 instead of 50. And oh, by the way, if you find a way to have 2 more bushels, 50 more cents a bushel, and tighten up your cost by $17 an acre, you make $108.50 while your neighbor's making 50. You know Jim down the road farms the same amount of acres as us? Yeah. Yeah, he's making $585,000 more than we are every year. And I'm not saying you have to work harder to make $585,000. That's part of what we have to fix. In agriculture, we think more acres means more work. No, it just means we need to delegate and actually create a management system, right? I'm just saying you need to focus on perfection because it's unattainable, but if we fall flat at perfection, we might still hit excellent, right? Settle for great, not for good. To break it into equity, so if you did the 5% rule for 5 years, did all 3 of those things, base case versus doing all 3 things, so 50 to 108.50, the change in equity, your equity would go up $293 an acre if you were just farming average, and if you implemented all 3 changes, your equity would go up by $636 an acre. Now as farmers, we like to break things down by acre and by bushel because it makes the number sound smaller, we have less risk that way, right? So let's take it out to the big numbers. 4,000 acre farm, that means in 5 years, the difference in equity is $2.5 million versus $1.1 million. This is 5 years I'm talking about. And we're talking about businesses we want to live for 100, 150, 200, 300, 400 years, right? So I don't know what 1.4 million on a 4,000 acre farm that's multiplied every 5 years does in 100 years. I haven't done that math. I just know it's a lot.